Yeah, I asked earlier about the chaos at ESPN right now, and personally, like I admit that I enjoy watching it to some extent. Like sports media drama is kind of it's my guilty pleasure.
But it's also your business though too.
Yeah,
It's
right.
like,
No,
you know.
definitely, absolutely benefit from it for sure. And I definitely like I get kind of excited watching those internal plights play out externally. But what I don't enjoy is listening to Aaron Rodgers. And this is as a Jets fan who absolutely hopes that Aaron Rodgers comes back and wins the Jets a Super Bowl. But I don't enjoy hearing him rehash tired narratives that the general public kind of moved on from and lost interest in years ago. And Rodgers' inability to move on has me questioning whether he still adds value to the Pat McAfee show at this point, considering the topics that he just is so hell bent on discussing every single week.
Yeah, I think the part to think about is, when is the last time Aaron Rodgers has gone viral for something he said on that show related to sports?
Right.
Like some opinion that he had about a quarterback or a team or even his own situation, other than probably what I can remember, and correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm sure somebody out there knows better, would just probably be about his injury and the
Yeah.
timetable. Like that is the only thing I could think of. If you're going viral and making more headlines for the things you say that have nothing to do with your expertise, then that should probably tell you something.
Yeah.
Um, and at this point, I think most people, especially now, are probably going to be watching to see what's the next stupid thing Aaron Rodgers is gonna Aaron Rodgers is gonna say. And I don't know if you want to be in that space either, where people have this expectation that you're going to say something dumb.
Right.
Um, and it's very interesting to see how his career will ultimately be regarded. We know he was a brilliant quarterback. Although a friend of mine has a theory about him that part of the reason maybe that we're getting so much QAnon Aaron Rodgers is because he only won one Super Bowl. And if he were Tom Brady and was sitting on 7 of them or whatever, that he probably would maybe be a lot happier.
Yeah.
That there's some part of him that feels like his career has not quite lived up to the standard befitting his talent. And now the rest of us have to be subjected to his opinions that have nothing to do, with what he does. And I don't want people to mistake what I'm saying. Like, I don't have a problem with athletes speaking out on things that are not related to sports. I am not the stick to sports person. I am not the shut up and dribble person. That is like not, what I stand for. But if you throw it out there and it gets challenged, don't complain that you're canceled. It's just called pushback and accountability. That's
Right.
it. Right. And so when you throw opinions out as you do, as I do, people challenge them, and you have to either defend it or admit you are wrong or whatever. So, it would be interesting to see how he's regarded when his career is over, because there's a Kanye West element happening here. And, Kanye, we know, brilliant producer, often, great musician, period, great rapper. He's so far removed from that person. People remember it, but it's so distant. Now they just look at him and see a clown.
Yeah.
And I feel that's the direction that Aaron Rodgers is headed, is that people are going to not necessarily forget, but that's going to be the secondary story to what his career legacy is. And the first thing people are going to think of is, this is the guy who spouts conspiracy theories and just says dumb things.